30,000 employees, operating in more than 50 countries, Avery Dennison is a global leader in materials science and manufacturing. Our company comprises 3 business units: label and graphic materials, retail branding and information solutions, industrial and healthcare materials. Founded on one man's innovation, we combine industry-defining innovation, an unwavering commitment to our values, and responsible social and environmental practices to deliver a vast array of products that span the physical and digital in almost every industry worldwide. Our aim is to be a force for good in all we do, whether we're developing next-generation solutions, building an inclusive workplace, driving our company in the industries we serve toward greater sustainability, or supporting the communities where we live and work. As we continually reimagine materials and what a global company can do, stand for, and be, we apply the best of what we've learned over 8 decades to add value for all of our stakeholders. Today, a business once defined by labels now defies being labeled at all. We are Avery Dennison. With a diverse team of over 30,000 employees, operating in more than 50 countries, Avery Dennison is a global leader in materials science and manufacturing. Our company comprises 3 business units: label and graphic materials, retail branding and information solutions, industrial and healthcare materials. Founded on one man's innovation, we combine industry-defining innovation, an unwavering commitment to our values, and responsible social and environmental practices to deliver a vast array of products that span the physical and digital in almost every industry worldwide. Our aim is to be a force for good in all we do, whether we're developing next-generation solutions, building an inclusive workplace, driving our company in the industries we serve toward greater sustainability, or supporting the communities where we live and work. As we continually reimagine materials and what a global company can do, stand for, and be, we apply the best of what we've learned over 8 decades to add value for all of our stakeholders. Today, a business once defined by labels now defies being labeled at all. We are Avery Dennison.
Morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the session so early. So before we start the session and hearing the sharing from our guest speakers, so I would like to invite you all to join the small activity with us. So please share the Menti activity on the screen. So please present yourself as answer 2 questions. Which is your study field, and also what is your studying year in RMIT? So then our guest speaker can understand more about you. Okay. In case if you cannot join menti.com, so please feel free to type in your answer in the chat box. Okay. Right. So we also have the screen, the code on the screen, 26A6 6150. Mm. We have 50% student from final year. All right. How come? We have 20% alumni, and also have some students from first year and second year student as well. Right? Okay. So I could see the majority of the student here are final year student. All right. Next question, please. What is your field of study? What is your major at RMIT? Profcom, Professional Communication, Economics and Finance, International Business. MBA. Oh wow, we have MBA student here. We also have the student from HR. So if you can see on the screen, if a student come from the same major, so the words on the screen will become bigger. So we have the majority of the student here from Economics and Finance, Logistics, Profcom, and HR. Or we have Digital Business major as well. All right. Or we have Robotics Engineering student as well. Welcome. We have IT student as well. What else? Management. Okay, so I will keep this question in around 15 seconds more. Okay. Supply chain management. We also have a lot of students from HR. Okay. All right. Hope that our guest speaker can see the major as well. Okay. So let's stop the small activity here, and thank you so much for your input. Okay, so won't take your time any more longer. So I would like to invite anh Tuấn Nguyễn. He's currently an HR director in Avery, Dennison. Would very happy to join and sharing with you about our main topic today, effective salary negotiation. Over to you, anh Tuấn ơi.
Okay, thanks, Sam. Thanks and good morning, everyone. I'm not sure like we have everyone here ready, or shall we? I'm not able to see everyone. I mean, I can see the number, but I cannot see your face. I'm not sure like, is it the right format, or are we expecting to have some other changes?
Yeah, so usually the student expect to turn off their camera to make sure we have the best quality for the session. But in case if you want to engage to anyone, so you can also ask them to turn on the camera later on.
Oh, that's
Yes.
sounds interesting. Okay, thank you a lot. Okay, good morning, everyone. Now I'm speaking to the screen there. Oh my gosh, I missed the old time when we have the face-to-face meeting. Hey, good morning again, everyone. Thanks a lot for having me today, having the team and from Avery Dennison. My pleasure to be with you. I missed the time when we met face to face. I have the chance to visit your school, your university several times, and I missed that time where we really see each other's and welcome and shake hands and all the things. So it gave me a lot of motivation. Given the situation, we are not able to do so. We ship everything online. this is addition to what we have, but actually I think compared with what we had before, I think somehow I still refer the previous way. So I hope that today is just the start, and that I would have the chance to meet you all in the future in some occasions, and we don't need to talk to each other or through the screen, but definitely we can see each other on in real life. I'm not sure that how should I start this, but I wanted to ask you a few questions, like how are things today, but I'm not sure, like, is it convenient with this screen? I use Microsoft Teams a lot before, but recently I don't, so I don't know how what is the best way to interact with you, but I hope that you have a good day. Maybe just to kickstart the section today, I just have a very quick question there. So when you hear about this topic, can you type on the screen and you type on the chat box, like, what are your expectations when you join this section today? Maybe a few words if possible, and I hope to see many more answers from your side. I saw 43 people in this group. I hope to have at least 20 answers. So what are your expectations before the meetings, before this seminar? What do you have in your mind that you think that you want to see it, you want to hear that from today's section? Can I see some answers, please? Have a good salary deal. Okay. Trick when facing with HR. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's an interesting answer there. I'm not a good negotiator. Actually, I think I want to put the topic as salary discussion, more or less salary discussion instead of negotiation. But actually, negotiation is also good. Okay, trick when facing HR, you definitely don't need to. We love to have the conversation with you as HR, so no need to have like the face. You don't need to face us. We need to just have a nice discussion. We love to have that. To know how to do a salary that fit with my ability. That is a nice one. Yeah, that is a practical one. Yeah, I saw some hearts on the answers. I guess like some others also have the same idea. I don't know how to negotiate in the way that doesn't sound like I'm too confident. Wow, that interesting one. That is very interesting one where I see some students, there's two extremes. Some students, some very humble, and then I don't know how much I should ask for. I feel like if I'm asked too much, then maybe people feel like, okay, I'm over confident. But another extreme is like, another extreme where they will say, they just ask the highest possible, and then they give the room for negotiation. So they're two different extremes. But I think for MIT, maybe we go for one extreme where we're so confident, is it? I don't know what is a good salary. LOL. Fair question. Other benefits besides the gross salary we should deal with the company? Practical question. I have a little experience in the job I'm applying. I think I don't have much bargaining power. Should I just accept the offer? Wow, that is a lot of how say, for this question, there's a lot of depth inside it. We need to discover to have a good answer for this. Okay, so let's see. Let's put this way. I see the few words. I see like how you don't know how to define a good salary. I think we can cover today. Also, I saw the word ability. You don't know like what is a job, how to deal with a salary that fit your ability. I would say like the moment I hear about ability, I think that one of the ways to discover yourself. And as HR, I'm dealing with this. I'm working on this for a while, for several years. So if any one of you interested in, maybe one of two of you interested in, maybe you can have a conversation where I can offer you certain tools, personal tools, and I can offer for you for free. Maybe one or two of you who are very excited or who are interested in knowing about yourself a little bit more, about your ability, about your personality. So I can offer you that. So if you are, interested in this, let me know. I put myself on the, I put the name and the email address and personal email address, because I can put the whole company email address. It is too long for this one. So if you're interested in, just ping me on that one. I definitely can help you with some of about ability topic. Okay, so I thanks for the answers. I really appreciate that. I really hope that I can see your answering it face to face or on by speaking. But I think that is good to have at this stage. I hope we can cover some of the questions for you. Maybe for us today, for our today sections, one small note is I don't want us to make this section like one way approach. I hear some echo. I hear echo. Is it better now? Okay, I guess it's fine. I don't want to make it one way. It's like we just share you, unlike the professor, and like no, I would say please keep it in this room, okay? Don't share with outside. But I think like when you come to the class, you tend to listen to the professors, listen to one predefined topic where the whole thing was prepared and just transfer to you, and the professor have the tendency to expect like you learn from what they share, and then you just move on. But actually, and I assume that is the way. But for me, I don't expect this that way. I really want us to have roughly 1 hour quality time where you feel something beneficial for you, and I really want to do or to share something that you feel interesting or you feel helpful. So don't be I don't think you shy. I don't think I want to use the word shy, but don't be passive and then just wait for what I'm sharing. If you think something interesting you want to explore further, feel free to let us know. I will not be able to look at the screen all the time to see the chats, so I may not know your expectations. But if someone on the team can just look at the chats and let me know, and then I can pause and go back to you. So feel free just to let me know like where I should stop, where we should stop, and where we should elaborate more, or how we have the conversation, the dialogue, okay? That is one thing. The second thing I want to share today is like we want to give you very brief or simple terms. I don't want to give you very long lecture on the salary negotiation or salary discussions, but more or less we give you certain terms, simple, straightforward. You don't need to recall that. You don't need to remember forever. You don't need to. The purpose is just for you to have an understanding that there is such a term, and maybe in the future when you see it, you'll not get surprised. Okay, so you don't feel like what is that? I haven't heard. What on earth is that? So today we hope that we give you that kind of things, understanding, so you feel like confidence or a little bit more like you know what happening there in the HR or in salary negotiation. So that's pretty much everything I want to share at the very beginning. I'm not sure anything you want to clarify before we move on to the next part, which is the sharing from one of my team members. Gosh, when I look at the screen, I just feel like I'm just monologue monster talking to myself. Okay, anything else? Any question? Any burning question right now before we move on?
Not yet so far, so I think we can move on.
Wonderful. Thanks, Tai Pung. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your answering the answer in the speaking mode. Wonderful. Thanks. Now, so please allow us to share with you the terms, certain definitions that we prepare for you. Yito, over to you, and please help the screen share.
Yes, thank you, Tuấn. And I would like to say hello to all of you. And it's also my pleasure to be here with you today and sharing some understanding about the benefit scheme and the salary structures. The next slide, please. Next more, please.
Yeah, maybe a quick one. I'm sorry, Tu, can I have a few minutes? Can you return to the introduction page, please? Yeah, I was like, I look at the screen, I just feel I'm talking to myself. I missed the introduction part. So please allow me to have a quick introduction about myself for us. I hope that I had a chance to know more about you as well. But maybe today, just more or less like for me to share with you who I am. A very quick one. I graduated from Hoa Sen University, and then I enjoy Intel in HR, in Intel HR team in L&OD. And then I have several years experience in HR. I moved to manufacturing as a supervisor. They call it first line manager, where I manage a group of people. And then I moved back to HR and I do several roles in HR. I saw someone in HR in the team when you answer what major you study. I saw some HR there, so I would love to see you as well, HR friends. I work in LNOD. I work in college program manager. College program manager is like where I go to school. I talk to students, tell them about Intel, the company, and how good we are, and persuade them or to keep them understanding and join us in later. Then I joined Microsoft in the north of Vietnam as a total reward manager. So I have several years in total reward, trying to managing kind of the policies, how to define a good policy, how to ensure that people understand the policies, or handle certain reward or CMB tasks. And then I left Microsoft Vietnam and I joined Microsoft Japan. I worked in Tokyo for roughly a year. I love the life there. The life is so good there. I would love to have another assignment there in Japan if I would have opportunity. But somehow I feel like I miss the energy in Vietnam. I think it's kind of a little bit messy here, but it's energetic here. So I miss Vietnam. I came back after a year only in Japan. I came back to Vietnam. I came back to the same factory. They call Microsoft Mobile Vietnam, but at that time they changed into another name. They call it FAH MPP or Fushan as a head of HR. And then later in 2019, I just joined Avery Dennison as a HR director. So right now I'm managing the HR for mainland Southeast Asia countries, where we have Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Myanmar, Laos. But our footprint is more or less in Vietnam and Cambodia. Other sites, we have a small footprint. So the reason I'm sharing this, the information in detail, because I think today we talk about salary negotiation, but I would love to open it, to have other topics as well. If possible, we can consider 60% or 70% about salary things. I can share everything about salary, but at the same time, I can give like 30% for us to discuss something else outside of salary. Anything as long as you feel interested in, then we can discuss. So thanks a lot, and I wish we have a good conversation today. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, anh Tuấn. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can.
Okay,
Yes.
that's great. I thought that this application of Teams is quite unflexible, because actually when I share the screen from my end, actually it just automatically close my video so that like you can't see me. I hope that you can see me now. Yeah. Normally, yes. Okay, so I can see myself here already. Hello everyone in the call. Hello anh Tuấn. Hello chị Thu. Hello the team from RMIT. So my name is Ming Ming. I'm currently also a part of the HR team in Avery Dennison. And actually, I should be the moderator of the call today. But however, thanks to the passion so strong from anh Tuấn this morning, he was a mono talk the whole morning. So he also helped me to contribute for my part already. Yeah. So I hope that like we will have the interesting discussion with all the, we see that in the call right now, we have like nearly 55 students in the call right now. So we hope that like we will bring you a valuable knowledge and some experience in the discussion this morning. So in return that like we also have some expectation with you, like anh Tuấn share in the beginning of the talk today. So we hope that like you can turn on the camera and just have some chit chat with us. Let's make the conversation today is really become a conversation, and then we can learn from the experience share from anh Tuấn, chị Thu, from the HR member today, and gain the best for yourself. Let's just not make the conversation today become like the mono talk. Okay, so that's our expectation. So right now I need to be like shut down and turn off my camera. I will see you at the end of the call when I share with you more. Yeah, thank you. I saw some video already show up. Thái Phùng, yes. Thanks for making friends, yes, and showing us. So it's good to see your face. It's really good. Yeah, it makes us to feel that like more happy and more engaging with you all in the call today. Okay, thank you so much. So let me share the screen right now, and thanks to the part of introduction from anh Tuấn, and anh Tuấn also have the beginning with us of the conversation already. So now maybe we get 1 minute for chị Thu to introduce about chị Thu, and then we will come to the main content of today. Let me share the screen from my end. Chị Thu ơi, leave the stage for you.
Yeah,
you can
thank you, Ming.
yourself.
Yeah, but I haven't seen the screen yet. Have you seen?
Yeah, sharing now.
Okay. So, within the sharing from me, I would like to introduce a little bit. I have more than 13 years working in human resource, in manufacturing, and many in different working environment. And I think it's a good chance for me to pass through many different fields of HR, like the compensation, like recruitment, and even the administrations. And now I'm in charge of HRBP and Total Reward in Avery, Dennison, Vietnam. And today I hope that I can share some helpful information with you, and it will be help you in your future career. And you will know more about the salary structure, and also prepare the good background for you in the salary negotiation in the future. Thank you. Minh ơi, I still cannot see the screen. Can any of you see the screen now?
No, cannot.
No.
Not yet.
Do you want me to share the screen for you, or?
Sure, Thanh ơi. Can you help to share the screen from your ends then?
Sure. Please wait a moment.
Interesting, you know, when I have a meeting with my team, almost all of them are female. So I'm the 1 or 2 males in the team. But then when I see the screen here, I have like 3 males here, male dominance. It's so good to see you guys. Okay.
It's good.
You're so happy, right?
So happy to see the male faces.
Can you see the slide?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So firstly, I will have the brief explain about the salary structures. As you can see on the screen, there are 3 main components of salary structures. The first one is the salary. In this part, I will introduce with you the definition of what is the gross salary and what is the net salary. The second component is about the personal deductions. For the personal deduction, I will introduce the definition of personal income tax and social insurance. The third one is about the bonus. In terms of the bonus, you will see there are 2 types. The main type of bonus is fixed bonus and variable bonus. For more detail, we will go to the next slide, please. Okay. When you maybe in the future, when you get the offer, you will see the recruiter talking about the gross salary, and but the amount you receive will be the net salary. So we will need to know what is the gross salary, what is the difference between gross and net salary. The gross salary is the individual total pay from their employer before tax or other deductions. The net salary is the final amount of money that it will receive after all tax and deduction have been subtracted. For example, the gross salary may be 20 million, but maybe the net salary around 70 million, something like that, after every tax and deductions. So, I think the more detail will be explained in the example later. Can you show the next slide? Okay, on the screen, you can see that I will have 2 different examples for you. And on the screen, that is the example 1. You will see that that person had the gross salary of 12 million per month. And after there's different deduction, for example, the compensatory insurance and the tax deduction threshold, that person will receive the net salary. The compensatory insurance, this slide, the example in Vietnamese, but the compensatory here, there are 3 main items. The first one is social insurance, 8%. The second one is medical insurance, 1.5% of your salary. The third one is unemployment insurance, 1%. So that compulsory insurance is the contribution by you and by the company every month, and it will be deducted after the gross salary. It will also bring you many benefits later on in your future career, in the future working relations. So normally after the gross salary, they will deduct about 10.5% and will come up with the number of taxable income. You can see that the taxable income here in this example is 10,740,000 dong, right? And that's called the taxable income. And after the taxable income here, they will deduct with the taxable threshold. And the threshold for individual is in Vietnam now at the current period is 11 million dong per month. And it means that for any person who has income less than 11 million dong per month, that person will be exempted from the tax contributions. So in this case, this person have taxable income lower than 11 million. It means that that person don't need to contribute for any tax, personal tax, and that person will receive the net salary of 10,740,000. I hope that this example will be clear for you. Okay.
Chị Thu ơi.
Yes.
Before you move to the next slide, I think that you also prepare a tips here to give to all the students today. That is about the calculation, the website, the calculation, how they can see the gross and the net salary, right? Do you want to share that tool to give it as a compliment gift to all of the audience today?
Thank you for remind. Actually, we have many reference tools in the network. In the internet that we can use. And if you can come back in the previous slide, there is one item reference. You click on that link, please. Who show the screen? Yeah, come back to the previous slide.
Can Thanh come back to the previous slide and click to the reference? Yes, that part. This automatically link to a website in Vietnam, which help all the people, all the employees can calculate their gross and net salary.
Okay, you can see it, and this is one of the reference tools which employee can use to calculate their net salary by themselves. You can put the gross income in the right hand side on the top, right? The name, thu nhập, that's right. So that is the first example of of one person get the gross salary of 12 million dong per month. But for example, I will come up with the second example. You can type here 20 million per month, please. 20 million.
This is actually a free tool, and you can access it. You see that this is tinhlương.vạn sự.vn. That is a free tool, can help you.
Okay, and you see that the formula below already changed, and they still keep the 10.5% of compulsory insurance, but it's not that based on the percentage of your gross salary. So that's why you see that the compulsory insurance, the contribution here different with the previous, the amount is different with the previous example, right? So they will deduct 10.5% of your gross salary. However, the taxable income of this person is more than 17 million, and the taxable threshold, deduction threshold still 11 million. But after deduct the taxable threshold, that person still have the taxable income of 6,900,000 dong. And it's different between this example with previous one, you see, because the previous example, the taxable income after deduct the threshold of 11 million is zero. So that's why the example one, they don't need to contribute for personal income tax. But for this person, that amount 6,900,000 higher than zero, and they need to contribute for personal income tax. And that is quite technical, how they calculate the personal income tax. They based on the table below. For example, if the amount from 0 to 5 million, they will need to contribute for 5% to taxable department. If the amount is from 5 million to 10 million, they will need to contribute for 10% to the tax department. So that's why the contribution of personal income tax here is the summary of 250,000 and 190,000 and come up with the number of 440,000. So that is the number of personal income tax that person needs to contribute to tax department. And after deduction of compensatory insurance and also deduction of personal income tax, that person will receive a net salary of $7,460,000. You see, the difference between two examples is one person don't need to contribute personal income tax, and the other person, the second person, still need to contribute for personal income tax. Yeah, but you can refer back again to the definition of what is the net salary. The net salary is the gross salary minus with all the deduction. The deduction here includes the tax deduction and also compulsory deduction. I hope it's clear. Any questions? No? Thanks. Next.
So so if everyone in the call, if you have any unclear or you want to learn more about the calculation, you can you can raise more the question at the end, because we will have the networking session at the end of the webinar today. Okay.
The next slide, please. These are example 2 I already explained before. Okay, I think that one is quite interesting, and I would like to introduce the salary structure and benefit scheme in working at MNC company. Because I think that many of you target to working for MNC company in the future, and you will know what you will receive from them. So for the benefits of working at NMC, you will receive the benefit both monetary and non-monetary. Monetary is mean everything related to the money, right? And that is the compensations. So here you can see that the compensation including the base salary and the bonus. And other benefit you can receive from the company is something related to the insurance, allowance, or any gifts from the company. A gift here may be, for example, birthday gift or Women's Day gift or any other gift that company can provide for you. And the third one also, I think is very important to the person who just graduated from the school and come to a working environment, that is the career development opportunities. Because sometimes the money is not everything, but the career development will play very important role in your career in the future. Yeah, in the career. So next slide, please. Okay. Sorry, the previous one. In the previous slide, I introduced quite general about the normal package of benefits in MNC company. But in this slide, I would like to introduce more very detailed about what package you can receive if you're working in Avery, Dennison, Vietnam. For example, for the compensations, in Avery, Dennison, Vietnam, we have monthly base salary. It means that the gross salary you receive every month, and that is the agreed amount between you and company when you receiving the offer, right? And beside that, we have the bonus. The 13-month salary is the fixed bonus, and the second is the variable bonus. The variable bonus will be differ from different type of employee. For example, we have different function in the company. Sales, CS is mean customer service or operations. Each of them have different bonus scheme. For example, for the salesperson, they will have sales incentive plan. We call it SIP. For example, for CS person, it means customer service. They will receive the customer incentive plan. For operation, they will receive operation incentive plans. For those bonus scheme, they will have different criteria, different KPI for tracking, and also the timing of payment also different. And that is applied from our Dennison. Maybe in other company, they will have different kind of bonus scheme. When you join a company, the HR department will introduce you about the bonus scheme in that company and how you can achieve the highest target to get the best amount of the bonus. Yeah. Okay. For the second one is the benefits. Working in our Dennison Vietnam, we can receive many benefits. Besides the compensatory insurance, which I introduced you before, we also offer the premium health insurance for every employee, even the operator worker, operator level, the staff level. Beside the health insurance, we also provide allowance, different allowance by different people. And the common allowance in our company is the breakfast allowance, attendant allowance, transportation allowance, and even phone allowance. That allowance is something outside the salary and help you to complete your work the most efficiency. And besides the allowance, the third one I would like to mention in the benefit component here is the working terms. As you know that maybe you already know about the Avery Dennison, our location is not in Ho Chi Minh. Our location is in Long An. So that's why we provide the shuttle bus for people coming from Ho Chi Minh to Long An and vice versa, or from Bình Dương to Long An for their working convenience. And for some positions that maybe need to travel a lot, we also need to provide them the laptops and phone. So that it will be convenient for them to connect the colleagues, to connect the customer, to make their work efficiency. Yeah. So it benefits not only related to the money. Something is money, and something also non-monetary. Yeah. And the third one, that is one of the package of benefit is the career development. And I'm very proud that Avery Dennison can provide many good career development opportunity, career here, including the professional and soft skill training. And also the second one is if you have good performance, if you have good leadership skill, you have chance to get promotion during working period. From the individual contributor to pupil manager level. And not only promotion, but sometimes we also provide the chance for employee about a lateral move. Lateral move here, for example, if you working in this position, but you also keen on another position to expand your working ability, you also can apply for the vacancy of the other position in the other department, and that we call the lateral move. The career development opportunity in Afghanistan is very diverse, and you have many chance to increase the career development in Afghanistan. So there are three main items of the package of benefits in Afghanistan, Vietnam. And after this sharing, I also would like to hear some of your maybe the observation. Maybe you know about the package of benefit in other company, and you would like to ask more detail our opinion about that package. We would like to hear some sharing from you. Okay.
Thank you, Chị Thu. Thank you, Thanh, for helping to sharing the slide. I think that we can stop the slide sharing from here, Thanh, please. Yes, so let's come back to the main topic of the networking session today. Since that, like, if we keep talking about the theory and all the package and also like each of the theory, right? So we can talk about the theories like the whole long day, but we cannot finish it. So I would like to suggest that, like, I found that there are some pending questions that we're receiving in the box of chat of the meeting chat today here, and I believe that, like, after the sharing session from chị Thu just now, we all already acknowledge about how the standard package of the compensation and benefit in a company already. And we also differentiate between the gross and the net salary. You also are provided with the tools how to calculate the gross and the net salary already. So let's just stop the slide sharing here. And now let the time for us to have some networking section to ask for your real question, your real situation. Just put it on the table here and ask and get the advice from anh Tuấn and chị Thu today. Just utilize us, please, for the best for your call today. Yeah. So in the meantime, we will prioritize for someone in the call to make the question directly with us. And you can unmute yourself and turn on the camera and just have the some chatting with us in the call for your any question related to our topic today. And in the meantime, we will also have some time to answer on the question pending from Hanoi team that we see on in the meeting chat box right now. Yeah, so I would like to seek for thanks helping because from my end, I can see the raising hands from my end. So Thanh can help to pick up any student in the call right now who have the question for us.
Thank you, chị Minh, for sharing. So I think the student need to prepare a little bit to generate their question. So all the student, please raise your hand. You can also have the function raise your hand in Teams. Please raise your hand and ask the question. But in the meantime, I think we can start with the first question in the chat box. Is it okay?
Sure. That's good. Very good. Great idea. Yeah. So
Okay.
let me, I'm circling up again to see the question from the beginning. So let me start first. Okay. It's still loading from my end. I found, okay. So maybe let me, I still need to log on the same time with my phone as well, as you see here, so I can see all the message from you and okay, yeah, got it. Yep, so somebody asking about the video record. I believe that Thanh can help with this question, right? You can have
Yes.
the recording after. Okay, so let's start from the question, the first question. From anh P. From anh P. The first question of today. I have little experience in the job I'm applying, so I think I don't have much bargaining power. Should I just accept the offer salary in the beginning? Yeah. Anh Tuấn, how do you think about this question? Can you help with bạn anh P for this question?
Okay, thanks for the question.
Do you have in the call? You can just turn on the camera to have some networking session with anh Tuấn right now. I would like to invite anh Tuấn to answer your question.
Okay, thanks for the question. Actually, camera is not a force. It's not a must. Like you can opt to just like hide yourself a little bit more and relax, listening to the questions or the answers, or even you can get it open. Then you can have a little bit more engaging. So for the questions here, I think it's quite interesting when you have less experience, and then you can see that you have less bargaining power. So how should you accept, right? How should you concede that offer? I would say we don't have a straightforward answer for this question actually. It depends on the role. For example, for management training program or fresh program, even a lot of companies, they don't prefer someone having experience. You know why? Because when you have experience in some other companies, certain extent is good, it's helping you, but a certain extent is not helping you to match with the company. For example, at very first page, at very first year experience, some companies, they tend to choose someone fresh because they want to train something from the very beginning. The culture, everything just get into the person, so the person just go for the right track. You see how the tree, right, grow the tree. If you roll the tree from the very beginning in the right way, the tree will grow very fast and get into the right shape. But if you just you put at the very beginning is wrong one, the tree just the tree is no longer in good shape. So in later years, regarding how well you try to to change it, it's very difficult. The tree will not grow as what you want, right? So in that aspect, you see experience doesn't matter. Even someone prefers to have someone less experience. That is one thing. And that's the reason why for you, I also recommend you to consider those program where they look for the fresh. If you don't have experience, you look for the program where they hire a fresh, or they hire a management training program. So in Avery Dennison, we call a GO program, kind of young leaders program. So that is one experience can help you for those of you who don't have a lot of experience. That is one perspective. Another perspective, just assume that you have one role that you're applying for. There are different candidates applying for the position, and this position requires experience. I would say your concern is true. Your concern is true where the employer, they tend to choose okay, you have experience, you have relevant experience. Someone doesn't have relevant experience, so how should I choose? I acknowledge the concern and think it's a fair, valid concern. What I can tell you, when we do hiring, we don't only look into the experience. Experience is something good. It's just set the foundation of 30%, 40% of the considerations of the decisions. But when coming to the final decisions, it's more than that. A lot of people have experience, but they doesn't have the skill, kind of the knowledge, the skill, the right behavior, the attitudes, even something like passion. They don't have the right passion to get a job, right? So when the employer consider everything, they will consider different factors. And yes, experience is one thing, but it's not a must, not the only one thing. So you don't need to worry a lot about experience. But again, if you have opportunities to earn more experience, that is good. Then come to the later stage. Now, when you are considered for the job and they feel like you have more relevant experience, you have more traits compared with some others. That kind of later stage already, about offering stage, because this question I believe that is somewhere at the offering stage already. So the moment they start considering you for the job and they start giving you the offer, they start saying, hey, come join us, I want to invite you. So at that time, everything just back to the beginning. And just reset to the level where they say, okay, if you have the trait to get into the job, maybe at that time they don't consider too much about experience anymore, so they offer you the job. And the question now is should you accept the offer or not accept the offer? It depends. It depends on what you think. For example, if you think the position is if you have some study, somehow you believe the position they pay for normal or the experienced person is 20 million. I just take example only 20 million. But somehow after the discussion, after the interview, you got into that one, they all want to offer you, but somehow they offer you 10 million instead of 20 million as a standard one. Or maybe at the beginning you see on a job post to say the salary range from 15 million to 20 million, but end of the day offer you 10 million, right? And then at that time you consider whether you want to accept the job. For me, my advice you consider, you are the one yourself know what you need. My experience when I studied before, I would offer a job of 6 million. In the years 10, 15 years ago, 6 million is something is quite interesting already. But end of the day, I decided not to take that one, but I chose for an intern position in Intel with 1.7 million. So I think at that time, my expectation more or less is about the experience learning. So it's not about the salary. So I picked that one. So go back to your example. If you consider for that position, you like that one, you feel like everything is matching. But you consider, they offer 10 million instead of 20 million as you think at a standard position. If you are the one considering salary is something important for you at the beginning, then you can go for it. But if you think that you feel like maybe how come this position is 20 million, you offer someone 20 million, why you offer me 10 million? Then you can come back to discussion and say, why don't we consider a bit higher? I know my drawback is my experience lacking, but somehow I feel I'm able to to fulfill. And the reason is you offer me a job, meaning to say you believe that I can do the job. So why don't you consider 20 million instead of 10 million, right? So again, it's go back to there is no right answer to fit one question like this, but there are different factors. But I would say, in order for you to decide whether you should accept the offer or not accepting the offer, look at your priorities. If you think your priority is about money, maybe you can push a little bit further. If your priority is not about money, but it's more about the experience earning, and you think everything is fine except the money, then you can consider that. So very unfortunately, I cannot give you one kind of sample answer for this question, but I hope my point just give you the bigger picture, how to decide the best for this case, for this situation. And thanks for the extra question, Anfam. I'm not sure the name is like I don't know the name is like male or female name, but I like the question. That's a practical question. Thanks a lot. And I love seeing this screen. At least I see some of you on the screen. Why, my God, this is like so engaging. Compared with the previous screen, I see the name TB and MT, AVL. Oh my God, that's great for me.
VL as well.
Okay.
Thanks, anh Tuấn, for the sharing. Yes, yes, and then like I also see some faces show up on the cone in the screen right now, which is very motivate us a lot for the cone today. So thanks for sharing with us and engaging with us too. I think that like but anh P already gave the a very practical question, which is also very related to the second question that we will answer for but Nguyên and I'm not sure win or win or something, but she or he asked, where should I find the data for the benchmark of the salary, or should I find data from market research to know the competitive salary for the position I apply? And I see that there are some reaction, thumbs up, heart, and surprise face with this question. I believe that this is about the benchmark of the salary. How can I know about the benchmark of the salary in the market? That is a very good question. Yeah. So for this, we will provide you the information, which is at the end of the call today. We will provide you 4 main ways how to find a benchmark of the salary. So we hope that like you will find the last slide that Thanh will help us to share at the end of the call today useful for you, where to find the benchmark. Okay, so just stay still and stay calm with us until the end of the call today, and I'm sure that you will learn something new for your practice. Come up next, we will come to the question from Thanh D. To have a good negotiation, but still keep nice attitude from HR, since negotiating is kind of sensitive. Okay, so I understand this is kind of like the comment and also the question from bạn Thanh as well. How to keep the nice attitude when you mention the good about the negotiation. It is also somehow related to the question that we received a lot before. If I negotiate my salary with the HR, I'm the hiring manager, will I be hated? Will they hate me? Yeah, so that's a very popular question. So maybe chị Thu, from the point of HR, and chị Thu also give some offering to directly to the candidate before. How do you think about this? Chị Thu ơi, can you share with us from your point?
Thank you, Minh Minh. In my opinion, and from the opinion of one HR from 13 years old, 13 years of experience, from my side, if someone confident to express their opinion, I highly appreciate it. So my comment for this case is, when you negotiate the salary, try to humble, polite, but confident. And why you can confident? Because you are the person who know what you have. So you confident with what you have. You show them what is your value. But please pay attention to the attitude. The attitude must be humble and polite to show your respectation with the other people. That is my comment for you.
Thanks, chị.
Yeah, maybe allow me to have a quick add-in as well. Let's put this way: you think of getting a job, or you get into the job. It's kind of a sales activity. You just consider, I take different things, right? But I take sales activity as one of the example only. Sales activity is when you sell something, right? You sell something or you buy something. It's like that. In the case, you're selling. You're selling your talents. The company is what buying. They're buying talents. They're buying you, your service, your talents to do the job. So I think for me, when coming to the salary, it's just more or less like demand and supply concept. It's similar to sales things there. You willing how much you willing to pay to buy things, and how much the seller willing to offer, to accept to get that one. So for me, that is very normal. But I acknowledge the question here is like, it's sensitive. Yes, actually it's not sensitive, but it's more or less like some people, they feel uncomfortable during negotiation because I feel like, wow, my God, if I join you and then I think in the future I work with you, but then I go back and forth with you to negotiate the salary. Maybe you feel I'm too demanding, or I'm too like competitive, I'm too money driven. So maybe you can set a wrong impression, right? This is a worry. I think it's fair. To be frank, honestly, I don't like to be negotiating for the salary. Honestly, until now, I hardly, with more than 10 years experience, but I don't actually doing a lot of negotiating in terms of salaries, talking. But more or less, like I, I like to answer is like, you respect is something important. You respect the person when you come into the salary thing. You don't show yourself too aggressive. Like, I need to have this amount of money, otherwise I walk away. That will not be the way. That will be harmful for discussion, because you don't give the room for discussion. But if you come into the situation where they offer you this kind of salary, but you say, I feel maybe I have a little bit higher expectations on the salary. I like the job here and there, but feel like salary doesn't match a lot of my expectations. Do you think we have rooms to discuss or to reconsider this? The moment you put the question into the table with the right way, with the constructive, I would say constructive way, things will be very easy. And again, right now, just to give you the confidence that the labor market is getting more severe. So we love you, the talent, we love you. We want to get you into the company. So I don't feel like there are many companies that try to squeeze you in terms of money. I don't think so. But now more or less like the effort is trying to get the right person into the job. The moment they find the right person, they will try all the ways to get the person in, right? Not to squeeze the money, to save some money. So don't worry about that. Don't worry. And even for this case, I would say instead of doing salary negotiation, I would say salary discussion. Just discuss. Just be open with them. This is what your expectation. This is what I feel. And again, be open. Sometimes there are certain candidates that's so aggressive. Their salary is like their market is like 10 million, but asking for 30 million. This is something very difficult, right? But if you feel like the market is like 20 million based on your study, and then you're asking for 80 million or 20 million, but you're asking for 21, 22, 23, even 25 million, it's the same. It's no issues. Go ahead with that one. Just one practical example. Just one very practical example. There was a time I got into a job, and I feel like, and I told you, I don't do a lot of negotiating. I don't know why. Maybe because so easy. The moment I put offer on the table, I just take it. I just feel like, I don't know. There are different angles into it. Either the offer is too good or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm so easy to get offer. But I feel like there was one time as well. As a hiring manager at the HR, I do a lot of kind of like offering. So there were one case where we offered that X amount, but she's so tough. The person is so tough and asking for more. But you know what? I don't hate her. I just know that that's her expectation. And you know what happened? End of the day, we offer much higher than what we planned. But we do something else. For example, we just rearrange her job a little bit more. We just get her, instead of doing one job, we just get her to do one job, one additional task, right? So we just get into it, and our relationship is nice. So confidence, be confident and with the expectation. But again, respect is something important, and give the room for negotiation. You give the room for discussion. Don't walk out the conversation with, this is only one thing I expect, and then walk away. That's really very harmful. Okay, good question. Thanks. Love that question.
Then. Yeah. Actually, I also found there are some several questions had the same topic have the same topic as well. So it proves that like all of our students is really concerned about the proper way how to make a proper negotiation with the HR. Currently, I can't find in the phone, but I remember when I read through the box chatting here, I found the question they're asking about like when is the suitable time for you to negotiate the salary? Is it should on the first round of the interview, right immediately you expect about your expected salary, or you wait until the final interview and then you at that time you stated about your expected salary? Yeah. So how is your point of view from this one? Maybe chị Thu, asking chị Thu first. What is your advice to the student? When is the proper time for them to negotiate the salary? And also, if you can give them some like tone of voice as well, like but Nguyên also asking that like, I know that there is no right or wrong answer for the attitude, but good like to know about the nice attitude and professional practice when dealing about the package. Yeah, so you can give some suggestion for her or for him. So.
Okay, when you apply for one position, of course it depends on the procedure of each company, but normally they have several rounds of interview. The first interview may be with the HR for screening first. The second round may be with line manager, and the third round may be the higher level of line manager, something like that. And you need to compete with other candidates too. And from the interviewer, from the employer, they will go through several rounds like that and selected from the successful candidate and only come with the negotiation salary with the successful candidates. So from my point of view, I think that you need to wait for the contact from HR for their suggestion of the salary negotiation. For example, they often ask you that they may say something like that. Congratulations and thank you for your dedication during the interview process. And now you are selected as one of potential candidates. I would like to go to the offer process to you, something like that. And they will ask you what is your expectation. So at that time you can show your expectation number, and there is different opinion. Some of the pupils think that you need to provide a range, but the other pupil think that you need to provide the exact number. And from my point of view, it depends on each situation. If the recruiter asks you the exact number, don't worry, you just provide the number you want, and you think that with that amount you can satisfy receiving that job. But someone maybe they have another approach. They will ask you, what is your range? What is your range of expectation? You can provide them the range. But for example, if you want to receive the amount of 10 million dong, for example, so you shouldn't provide the range from 6 million to 15 million, right? Maybe that person will think that, okay, 6 million also acceptable for you, and they may provide you 6 million. And of course, at that time, you don't happy, right? You are not happy. So the range, if you provide the range, you should provide the range in a short variance only, and make sure that the lowest one also is acceptable for you. Okay, that is my advice. Sorry, I forgot the second question from me.
Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah. So yes. Can you give some example for the nice attitude, and what is the proper way to make the suggestion for salary negotiation?
Okay. According to me, the nice attitude here is, of course, you also know some tips about the communication, right? If you have chance to talk directly with that person, of course, you need to look at the face of that person. You cannot look around and say some amount. That is one of your attitude. But however, if you receive a phone call, pay attention to your tone. That tone should be respectable to the listener. And if they ask you, if I can negotiate your expected salary, and if you feel that yes, for yourself you can negotiate, let's say with them that I'm very happy to negotiate. Maybe sometime you can say frankly is that my expectation is like this, but based on the actual requirement of the job, I can consider. For example, if that job is, if you think that my performance is potential and I have some gaps, I willing to take this offer, and I hope that I have chance for the career development. I will receive some training, and maybe some in the short term I can be have the salary review, something like that. You show you're willing to discuss. Don't stop right away. Maybe they cannot provide you your expected amount at the beginning, but you say that no, I don't agree. I think that I must receive that amount. The conversation will be stopped, right? So you should show you're willing to deal, willing of negotiations. I think it's a good and also nice attitude. And I think that for anh Tuấn and Chị Minh also have another opinion, another advice for you.
I think differently a bit, chị Thu. Anh Tuấn already said he's never negotiated a salary before, so he's not qualified to answer this question already.
Okay, good.
So
Yeah.
may I save anh Tuấn for the later part, because we still have a long list of the question later. But in this one, maybe I just share from my point of view, because that's like, yes, I am Thai. Yes.
Oh, I said because he has a trick that he doesn't need to negotiate. He just get what he wants. So that's why we
Already high, right?
His package is just too good already. He has nothing to
Yeah.
negotiate, so he's unqualified for this question.
like, oh, what is the trick to get your expectation without saying it?
Maybe that's another webinar then. Yeah, anh Tuấn, you have a promise to have another webinar on that with the student. Yeah. So so let me, because I thought that this is a very interesting question, and in every single webinar when we do for the student in on the university, we always made up with this question: how about the proper attitude? So because of my daily work right now, I'm also in charge for the recruiting in Avery Dennison in the team as well. So there are some points from my end I would like to share with you guys, the practical tools for you. The first one I want to share with you is like, normally for a professional manufacturer, let's say that like MNC company, we as a TA, the talent acquisition, we can share with you the salary range in the beginning. Why? Because of like we can share with you because it saves time for us. During the 2 round of the interview, it takes time for both of you as the candidate, of TA as the recruiter, and also for the hiring manager. Let's say if your expectation and the salary range of the company will not matching, so it costs a time for us. Yep. So you have the right to ask at the beginning with the TA, can you share with me, please? Can you share with me? I would like to know. That is the proper way and the action and the tone of voice for you to share and to ask right at the beginning. But let's just ask about the salary range after you already make sure that you totally understand about the job description. Read through the very carefully the JD first, and then you found out like your suitability, and the most important thing is like your passion, your motivation. You like that job, you like that company, and then you ask with the TA, can you share with me please the salary range? I would like to know more about the benefit of the company. I am sure with you on the TA we can share with you. Of course, the salary range we run from the A point and to the B point, right? So we can share with you about the range, and how much that you can offer is that really depend to your competency, to your ability at the end of the final round. So let's say the negotiation will only happen at the final round when you are the finalist for the role. But at the beginning, let's just save time for all of the both parties by asking the right question and by the right attitude. That is the first advice from me to you. The second advice you can take away from the webinar today is like, at the end of the final interview, when you start going through the negotiation, the best way is face-to-face with the recruiter. Never make the negotiation through a phone call. And let's say in the COVID time right now, we can face-to-face meeting. So use the email, because the tone of voice in the email is always the most formal for you, and it helps you to buy in some time to consider carefully about the offer before you make the decision. Okay, so let's think about that. Never make the negotiation through a phone call. Pick up the phone, and the TA have so many things to do at the same time. We are on multiple tasks at the same time, so we cannot focus to the tone of voice and to your motivation as well. So when you write an email, you need to show your motivation with us. You need to show that like how you suitable to this position, how you like the company, how you want to work to the company. However, blah 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 blah. And then after all the however part is your motivation and your willingness to negotiate the salary. Yeah, so just use the email, and then never extend the email of negotiation over 2 email. 2 email is the maximum that you can negotiate, because when you extend it into the third email, you keep asking more about the benefit, and you keep asking raise the salary expected more. After more than 2 times, you will bring the feeling to the TA that you come to work because of the money, because of the package, and we don't feel that you're long term to stay with us. Okay, so that is really the practical experience from the TA, from the point of view of the recruiter right now. And that's also the expectation and how we see that, like the attitude and your motivation with us through on the advice. So I hope that on the advice here is practical and useful for you in the future. Okay. Yep. So let's right now, since we skip anh Tuấn because anh Tuấn not qualify again for this question.
Maybe even I'm not qualifying to answer your question, but I give you a perspective, right? Everyone have different perspective, and I can tell you this: this is not science. Salary negotiation, salary discussion, this kind of thing is not science. This is arts and science together. If you go with if you have one's, no one can give you one fixed answer for you. To be frank with you, I don't think the same way will not be applied for all the cases. You need to be flexible. I have cases where, and to be frank, I like to be straightforward at the beginning as well. When someone asks me the job, I also tend to just put the package up front to make sure that we have to save time for everyone. At the same time, I also give the rooms to ensure that we exchange all information enough to ensure that we don't just get the money as kind of barrier for us and then we stop everything. So there's no science, there's no kind of fixed formula in this, arts and science together. And I have cases where we offer straightforward, very beginning, they get the money in, we love it. But we also have cases, we offer a lot of cases where we discuss everything already done and then get into the offer. And even, you know what happened? At the beginning, if you put the money first, and then the conversation will be straightforward, but it's there. But you know what happened? If you don't give the money first, and you put yourself into the positions, go through quality discussions, they know about you more, they know you well more, and even at that time, you know, the price is going to be very different. At the beginning, you say, I think it's 10 million, you put 10 million there and then come into that one. And so you get 10 million. Or you felt, oh, what the heck? Why I should be asking for 12 million while I'm asking for 10 million, something like that. You can have that feeling. But you know, another way is where you don't do anything. You make it like, I need to consider that one. Let me consider a little bit more further. You play some skills, play some games with them at the end, and then come into 5 times interview. People love you. The GM love you. Even you got into the specialist position, but the GM love you. A lot of people love you. And then they ask you, what is your salary expectation? And you feel like you have the feel, I feel like maybe instead of 10 million, I'm asking for maybe 12 million. I'm asking for 20 million. Wow, you know, at that time, you know the flow, you know what's happening, and you can come up with even a better number. So there are pros and cons of the approach, but trying to be balanced that one. I would say like the question is very interesting. Like, what is behavior? What is attitudes? I think always trying to show that you are cooperative, you're constructive. Don't try to say, I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's too much. It's too less. Something you give a lot of comments, but try to constructive. Like, can we consider this? Shall we consider this? Is there any areas that we can consider a little higher? I would love to do a little bit more. Is it possible? Something like that. To throw the open questions for us to have the room to discuss. Okay, so it will work. And there's no fixed answer for this one. Come on, you will know it along the way, but try to be constructive. Okay, good question.
Yep, can see anh Tuấn very passionate to sharing about this topic on the theory about a negotiation salary. Never applied.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean that, I didn't mean that. It doesn't work for me. Well, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it's just even though that I say like that, but actually you guys on the now I see the cone nearly 60 students in the cone right now. You have a very valuable experience because you know that like how about the salary negotiation process from the point of view of the hiring manager. Since anh Tuấn or chị Thu in our teams is at the level of the manager or director, right? So now you have the chance to see that like how the salary negotiation from the perspective of the managerial level, so that you know that like what they expect to see from you. Yeah. So just remember always to show your suitability with the job and to show your motivation first. That could help you to credit the points to the hiring manager before you expect that like you have any like expectation or negotiation later. Yeah. So I also now maybe we can skip a bit for the chat box, and I see that like just now Thanh ơi, is it right that we have some raising hand in the call, right? I just see some name just now. I'm not sure. I'm not get the name. Can you help us to have some networking session with the student, with someone in the call?
Yes, so earlier, at first, thank you, anh Tuấn, chị Thu, and chị Minh for a very great discussion, open discussion. So I just earlier I just saw Đăng Nguyễn. You are on camera right now. You raise your hand. You want to add on or raise your concern if you have any question, Đăng ơi.
Actually, what anh Tuấn said he also answered my question, so I don't need to ask now.
Wow, my reader, as usual, as always.
Okay, thank you. So far right now in the list, I haven't seen anyone else raise their hand. Yeah. So should we continue with the question in the chat box, or we come back with the slide?
I think Thái has the question, right, Thái?
Yeah, my question is in the chat box. If you scroll down,
Sorry, we can't hear you clearly.
Oh, I said my question is in the chat box, so you can scroll down.
Okay. So let me just scrolling down. I think that your question is like in the later part of the list. Yeah. So let's just like scrolling down the list. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on next to the next question in the list that I found here. But Dương asked how to know if the offer is good and how to recognize a bad one to walk away. Dương, yes. So we agree with you. There is a good and bad offer. Yes, of course. However, how to avoid and save time? Let's just practice this. Asking the right and the proper attitude in the beginning to recognize which one is not suitable to your expectation, and how to recognize if the offer is good. Just do the market research. Just do some salary benchmark first, which is would be shared in the last 5 minutes of the call today. I will share with you the slide later for you to know what is the way help you to recognize what is the salary benchmark in the market, let's say in Vietnam right now for the same position. Okay, so I believe that after that part you will know and you will have some like you will be equipped with the more knowledge about this. From Hanoi student, as now I'm a student, can I negotiate the salary? From Mati, as now I'm a student, can I negotiate the salary with the companies? Because I know all the companies have the salary range for that position. Specifically, I don't have a lot of real working experience because I spend most of my time for studying. Yeah, so in the brief, maybe chị Thu can help to answer for Thi and Hanoi student for this question, right? They're asking that like they know that like the company, yes, they have the salary range for the specific position, so can still make the negotiation about that.
I think this is one of the interesting questions, and I think for your easier negotiation in the future, you can base on the reference market data, which Ming will share with you later on. And even for the student have just graduated from the university, also have different level. Some of you maybe have internship experience in your the working period, right? it means that also you also have more experience than the other person who don't have internship experience. So in this case, if you already have internship experience in another company and you may know your value, or anh Tuấn can always use price, right? You may know your value here, and you also can base on your living cost, something like that. And if that company offer you the one amount which is lower than your current amount you are receiving now, and you see that that amount may be afford for your living cost, maybe you will not accept, right? You are right that each company will have the range of the salary, but you know the mean of the range, right? The means the range is mean not a fixed amount. They will have the range, the the minimum amount and the maximum amount, and why that range is paid for different level of performance. So if someone is a little, maybe they have bigger gap with the expectation from that position, they will receive only maybe 75 or 85% of the target salary. But if someone totally meets expectations, maybe that person will receive 100% of the expected or of the defined amount of that position. And for some position, if we see that that person is potential, maybe not only for that vacancy, but maybe that person maybe have potential for higher level, maybe a leadership of a small team in the future, or maybe they have many special skill can expose to another job. So that person can also have the higher salary, maybe 120% of that range. So that's why each company, they also have a range, not very fixed amount. Of course, it depends on the culture and on the policy of the company. Normally, the MNC company, like European company, American company, they will have the range. But for example, the Japanese company or Korean company, they will fix amount. So you need to understand the company you are applying for, the market research of the position you are applying for, and at that time you have chance to negotiate your salary. Even you are the person, you are the student have just graduated from the university. Yeah, that is my sharing.
Thanks, chị Thu. At the same time, we also have another question related to the salary negotiation. Yeah, anh Tuấn.
Again, the monster is back. I'm sorry.
Welcome back, monster.
you might feel tired of listening to me there actually. I'm sorry. Sometimes I look at the letters. I don't see your face. I don't know how willingness you are willing to listen to my perspective. So
guys, comment to show anh Tuấn your enthusiasm to motivate him.
If you want me to stop, then please let me know. I like the questions, and that's the reason why I like talking to students. To be frank, like I love to be with you in one location, so we can have such a change. I like these questions. One part of the questions I think I like it where is, how do you know whether the offer is good or bad? How do you know whether if a good offer you to take or is like not a good one and you just walk away? So my God, there's no person in the earth can tell you if you give that offer to you and you that person and then say, do you think this offer is good or not? No one can tell you. I'm telling you, no one can tell you the answer. Maybe they can give you whatever is it. They can give you the perspective. They can give you, hey, do you do study? Do you do market research? Do you have the data point? How confident you are? Do you like it? They can give a ton of questions, and you can, from that questions, you can pick the right answer, and then you just decide it yes or no. One thing I want to share with you, my experience, my personal experience. The one time after I left Intel, I moved to the north of Vietnam. I'm not sure any one of you from Hanoi, from the north of Vietnam. I miss Hanoi a lot, actually. I stayed there for several years. I got an offer to become kind of like generalist HR, and offer is kind of humble offer. The offer is kind of like just enough, but it's just for me to is post myself into something new. Otherwise, I will just continue with Intel. I just want to try something new. The offer is small. My friends just are like, why on earth you going to the north with that offer? I just take it. I just go ahead and go. And then I got into it. I performed it. I feel like I'm performing kind of well, something like that. After 2 months, they offer me a job of total reward manager. You know what? If I follow everything on the book, I may reject the offer. You know what happened? They offer me the job. Okay, to be frank, I don't need to talk about the last current company and the last one, so I can tell. At that time, they offered me around 32 million Vietnam dong for the total reward manager. And if I look at this market study, you know what? 30 million is not matching the range. So
Over
it should
the
be
range.
like, no, over the range. Come on, it's lower the range. So if at that time I do the market study, I say, come on, this position at least 60 million or 50 million or 45 million, something like that. How come you offer me 30 million? Can I walk away for that or I take it? So if I follow that one, I would just walk away, right? But at that time, I take it. I just took it. And you know what happened is, it made me feel a little bit more upset. You know what happened? Before they offer me the job, they offer the job for someone else, but that person didn't take it. And the offer was about 7 million something with allowance. It's going to be 80 plus 90 million, but that person walk away. That person think that offer is too small, I guess, or maybe it doesn't fit the company. That person walk away and offer me the job for 32 million. Come on, you see, the gap is too big, and I still feel upset because I was the one taking care of those kind of things, and I know the gap. But what happened? I just took it because I feel like this is good offer because it can give me opportunity to learn, opportunity to do, and I just feel good with that. And you know what happened? Within 1 year, I got 3 time promotions. Within a year, 3 time promotions. From 32 million, it got into like 37 million something, 37 something. It's got into 42 million, and it got into like 60 plus something million at that time. So after just one short period, it's got 3 times promotion. Because of what? Because I think we prove the values. We think that we know what we want. We bring the values on the table, and the moment things go, one tip or maybe one kind of a straightforward thing I can tell you, not always you can negotiate the salary because there is a range. If you ask like too high, they cannot simply ask you to offer you 100% increase. It cannot. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. A system doesn't work like that. Normally they go into like 20%, 30%. So that is the max already. Some other company can go into like 35% or higher, but not very limited. So there is a range. Regardless how well you negotiate, you cannot go among that one. So don't try to be so much of money or try to say like money is all one thing, because if you think money is one thing, then you may miss some other things when you consider one offer. Okay, so that is one thing. The second example I want to share with you is when I come back from Japan. When I'm not sure, like, for your understanding, maybe a quiz here. So what do you think kind of like manager level? Maybe too much. Maybe just a quiz. When you graduate, for your understanding, what you're thinking, what is the right level? How much is you think is competitive offer? If you walk away from the school, can you tell me just 1 or 2 numbers in your mind? What is the acceptable level you think is good?
18?
Anyone? Thai, just say it.
15 to 18, I guess.
18?
15 to 18. That's
15 and 18. Very good one. Anyone else have a perspective? Or someone run away from the monologue monster?
Yeah, there are some chatting in the box chat for fresher. I think it's 10 million from my.
Okay. So there is no fixed one. Let me tell you one thing. Different person have different perspective. Yes, even we have a study, but not always we have the right answer for everything. So when I came back from Japan, you know what happened? I got a pay cut of 50%, more than 50% actually. I'm earning kind of quite decent offer in Japan, but I go back to Vietnam to take a very small offer, just less than 50% of the package I was earning, and also it's compared with the market, it's not that high as well. But I can see the values of that, intangible values of that, and again I took the offer, and rationally the offer just pumped it into a little bit better package. I cannot share with you the current one and the previous one, but I can tell you that it's very competitive. It's going to be very competitive until the level where the headhunters, many of them just tell me like it's very difficult for me to find another job because the offer is almost there already. It is high and ready on the range, right? So again, the moment you say good or bad, there is no right or wrong. There is no good answer for it, good definition for it. It's just you yourself, but trying to be a little bit more open when consider good or bad. Okay. Okay, thanks for your patience. I'm sorry. Maybe I missed out, but I talked a lot today. Okay.
Actually, we found that in the box chat there is a lot of compliment to give to specifically anh Tuấn. But anh said it's always great to listen to the different perspective. Great one. Cảm ơn anh Tuấn nhiều ạ.
Thanks.
Yeah, anh Mạnh Thanh. Let's drop some hearts for anh Tuấn. Wow. Yeah, you say sorry, but it seems like all the names mentioned to you specifically.
Yeah, I love to see your face. Actually, your smile is much better than the like. Anyway, yes, good question. Yeah.
Yeah. So since the timing that we don't have much left, it's so pity because I'm sure that anh Tuấn, especially anh Tuấn and also the team HR from Avery Dennison have much more would like to extend the time to chat with you more. However, that the time is limited today. So let's see each other in another webinar soon. So let me just I read through all the questions here already. So there are two the main question left here. So I will quickly answering to you in the call today before we come to the last slide as I promised it to you. Yeah. So the first question is asking about the salary for the intern. Some people they ask that they concern that if intern can negotiate the salary. So from this point, I think that in general, on the company they already have the fixed allowance for the interns already. Let's say in the market right now, I can share with you, it could be from 5 to 7 million, 5, 6, 7 million gross per month. That could not be called as allowance for the internship. It's not salary because the internship is the allowance. Okay, so that could be the fixed one. And normally you cannot negotiate about this already fixed package. It applies for all the internship, for all the level and all the function. Yeah, so this is just the practice in the market right now. I can share with you. However, there is an interesting point. One student here asked that from your point of view, is the intern only a casual position or kind of a potential candidate for the future full-time commitment? I can share with you from this point. I guess that this is also the same point of view from anh Tuấn and chị Thu as well. In Avery Dennison, we consider that interns, and we also offer the long commitment to stay after finishing 6 months of intern in Avery Dennison. So it means that from the criteria to select an intern to our company in the beginning, we also select it very carefully to see the capacity of the people to join with our organization. Because you imagine 6 months to train you and to give you all the coaching, we don't want to waste it. And of course, we want to nurture the people, the talent to stay long time with us. Yeah, so it really depends to the perspective of the company. So just be confident and stay and develop yourself in the internship. Yes, Thai.
Okay, so are you guys have any internship right now, or are you guys recruiting at the moment?
Yes, for sure. We always upload even the internship job on the career website. Let's say Vietnam Work, Career Builder, even some specific internship we also offer on LinkedIn as well. Or you can visit the Facebook website, the Facebook fan page of Avery Dennison. You can easily find us on Facebook, Avery Dennison Vietnam. Yeah, so we always public on the internship open to the external. Yep, and almost all the time.
Okay, and I heard there's an empty of you guys, so I haven't seen it open yet. So can I know the exact time when you guys gonna open for the empty?
Thank you for your interest and care for our MT program. In Avery Dennison, the MT program called as Gold Global Organizational Leadership Program. Normally, we conduct from December to at the end of March every year. Yeah. So in this year, we're still planning for that. So if any conducting in the soonest time, we will broadcast in all the communication, whitebox.com, Facebook, and yet on the other channel as well, and you will easily find us information.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the engaging. So,
Maybe
yeah.
I don't know whether you have like maybe 2 minutes. This is like opportunity, right, for us to meet. You know, I'm trying to be open. I give my email address there and also my phone number. If you any one of you want to approach or just have a quick chat or coffee, whatever, just let me know. I just want to close this one before I hand it over to Min to close the call. I just want to give you one piece of advice. You know, I'm not sure whether it worked for you. It works for you or not. I'm not so sure, but I think it works for me a lot, especially when I graduated. So I just want to give that to you, a quick, small advice only. This is not only about salary, but this is about a job. This is about your next career move, right? This is very important, especially the first job is so important. That set the foundation, set the milestone, the foundation for your future. So be careful, you know, make sure that you have a good one, good selection, good start will enable you to have something much better. So try to be careful. That is one thing. The second thing, even it's still connect with the first advice, I would love to advise you one thing. When you consider a job, consider different things. There's one small model I want to share with you. They call TOP model. TOP model is like TOP. T is like talent. The P is always like organizational need, and P is passion. When you consider a job, try to consider these kind of things. Try to consider first one, talent, what I'm good at. What is the thing I think I can do well? What are the things that you think you can deliver better than others? That is talent. Consider that is the very first thing. Second one, consider the passion. You can do it well. Again, you can do it very well. But is it your passions? Is it something you feel like passionate to do it? You can do HR job, but you doesn't feel like you're passionate about that. You can do digital marketing. You can do a lot of IT things, but this is not something you feel so interested, you're so passionate about. So maybe this is not something good for you as well. The third one is about organizational need. Think of what people need you. From time to time, you think this is what you want to do, but again, you want to do marketing, but there's no job in marketing. There's like you want to do like HR, but there's no job HR open, so this doesn't match. So even the three factors here, one of the factors doesn't match, it doesn't help you. So try to find a job where you see the three factors meet: talent, passion, organizational need. This is something I recommend you to do, to follow. Maybe another perspective, like that is a modern kind of a modern approach where they think of like TOP. But if you are Asian, I know one of you, I'm not sure that you heard about Ikigai. Ikigai is kind of a similar model, but another on top of that one, the passion, organization, the need. Then there's a circle. They say the where you can earn money. So this is a circle, not circle. So for me, I recommend you to really, before you consider anything, look at those factors. Look at what is you're good at. Look at your talents. Look at your passion. What is you really feel good about it, and then look into the organizational need. This is where you fit into. The moment you get the three circles meet and you pick the job in that circle, in that like square part, then you get into the right job. So I wish that you, this is very beginning. I wish you have a pleasant career, a successful career, and I wish you have a great career ahead. And I would love to, to have a catch up with you whenever possible. So thanks a lot for having me today. Thanks a lot for your patience, listening to my monster, monologue monster. But I enjoyed the conversation with you guys. Wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anton, so much. We can send some heart for Anton later on, or you can just push the icon. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Anh Tuấn, a lot for the sharing. So let's end the session today by my promise to you. Let's refer to the slide. Thank can you help to share the final slide?
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah. There are 4 ways to help you to get the benchmark of the salary in the market. Let's say we start first in Vietnam. Yep. The final one.
Yeah, please repeat.
Yes, this part. Thank you. So in here you will find 4 columns. I will walk you through quickly the reference for you to get some acknowledge about the salary benchmark in the market. The first one, like in Vietnam, you can consider to see the hrinsider.com. This is the Vietnamese one, which is established by Vietnam Work, which is quite famous for the job seeker already. HR Insider, where you can find and you can make the question onto this website and find some information about HR Insider. Yeah, and like in the foreign countries, like you have some international friend, you can ask them and they will mention about Quora or Glassdoor, which is also a platform for you to find some information, some viral, let's say the viral information. When I call it's viral because it's not officially, it's just on based on the personal experience from some employees to give you the information go viral as well. Yeah, and the last page is like tinglương.phận sự.vn. This is the link to help you to calculate the gross and the net salary, as we already introduced in the beginning of the call today. And the second source for you is an official survey that help you to have the benchmark. You can search for free. You can search that like salary survey of 2021 on internet from TalentNet, Adecco, or Manpower. They provide you some survey and free. So this is a trusted source for you to get the benchmark. However, the cons of this source is they focus to the quite high level. Let's say from the executive level, from 2 years and above. So for some fresh graduate or some under 2-year experience, we still have another way to help you. That is the third way. Come to your network. You can ask with your alumni in your school, in your university, or you can connect to LinkedIn to connect to the senior employees at the company that you target for. If you want to work in Avery Dennison, just reach out to the TA, talent acquisition team, to me. If you find a job post, to the recruiter of the job post and make the proper question about the salary range. Can you share with me? Yeah, like the beginning, we already talked about that, and we believe that like when you reach to the right person, you will get the right answer for your right question. Yeah, and even from your friends or from the college with you at the senior level, all of the network then can help you to provide you some information about the job and about the salary for you. So never forget about your network. Network is really important and it helps you a lot in your career development. Yep. And another way to help you here, we mentioned about numbell.com. This one is for you to have the benchmark for the salary if you have the chance to work abroad. Numbell is provide you the standard of living cost in Vietnam in compared to any other country, which is a very useful tool for you if you work abroad in the future. And in Vietnam, let's just come straight directly to Vietnam Work Career Builder or any other Facebook group. For example, IT group jobs in Saigon or sales position in Hanoi. On those like Facebook group, they will have the people talking about some position and they will post the job that their company recruiting on those websites. And the interesting thing here is like some even the job post, they public the salary. So that is the place for you to have the reference about this position, how much that the market right now pay for this position. Yep. So that's it on. That is that the main source of the reference that we provide, and we hope that it's useful for you.
Thank you, Chị Minh, so much for sharing. And I believe that all of the students would very enjoy the session today. So before we end the session, so I again ask for your support if you can all turn on the camera and we can take the picture together. Okay?
Excuse me.
Yes,
Sure.
I think.
I have one question. Is the salary posted on the website, so gross salary or the net salary?
Normally it could be the gross salary.
Thank you.
Yeah, Thanh ơi, I think that you should end the sharing slide so we can all see the faces, the lovely faces of the call today. We still have nearly 50 friends and students in the call right now. Thank you for being patient to stand for Monster and Tuấn and staying with us today. Yeah, so after the call today, if you guys find that like file that like is interesting and useful for you, and if someday you can utilize our advice today and get some result as you expected, don't forget to ping us in LinkedIn or message us or email us to let us know that like yes, our sharing session for you today is useful for you. That could be a very big motivation for us to continue this session and sharing the knowledge for the next generation of students.
Thank you, Chị Minh.
Thank you. I feel like there is someone I know in this photo. Is it Tan is the one I know? I feel there's one person, another person in black, the female in black, the black t-shirt.
Trang.
Trang, right? Is it? From
Yeah,
Navigos, right?
From Hà Nội.
Navigos team. See, my memories doesn't fail me. Hey, welcome. Thanks everyone. Wonderful section today. Love to see you again.
Yeah, so I will count 1, 2, 3, and take the picture together. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Don't forget that we still have a networking session this on this Friday afternoon. If you still have more questions, you can come back with Avery, like table and talk, discussion more. Okay, thank you so much and hope you enjoy the lunch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye everyone.
Nice day. Bye for now.
Take care.
Yeah, bye. Thank you, Thái. Bye bye mọi người.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, Thanh. Thank you, Cha.
So like